Joining us now for more, retired Marine intelligence officer, friend of the show, Hal Kempfer. It is great to see you, sir. So to start, you have the president of Nigeria denying these claims of an action against violence against Christians. At the same time, though, reportedly, international civil rights groups estimate that more than 50,000 Christians have been murdered in the country since 2009. So is the Nigerian government allowing this to happen, or are they just unable to stop it?
Well, Kelly, I'd say it's mostly unable to stop it. They've been trying to deal with that. They have a shortage of revenues, funds, resources to do this. There's a multinational joint task force that was set up many years ago that has Nigeria and 3 neighboring countries, to include Chad, which is under a military coup. That's another issue. And they've been against Boko Haram, more recently against the Islamic State of the Western African province, an ISIS-affiliated group, and another group called Ansura. These Muslim extremist groups are the ones that are targeting Christians, albeit with all that said, about 37,000 Muslims have also been killed in this in this civil war in the northern provinces. So, yes, it's bad, but I don't know that the Nigerian government is not doing what it needs to do. It just mostly lacks resources to do what needs to be done.
Understood. The president, he's also now threatening to stop aid, as we outlined, possibly sending in the military. How do you anticipate these threats are now being received?
Well, I'm sure they're taking them very seriously, and if hopefully it'll launch a dialogue between Nigeria and the U.S. on how we could work collaboratively together to more aggressively go after these violent extremist groups that are particularly operating in the north, up in the Lake Chad Basin. That would be a very positive step. It is a huge country. It's over, it's the largest by population country in Africa. It is a very difficult country to think of any military operations in. So working together with Nigeria almost seems an imperative in terms of actually doing anything.
Right, tackling the issue. I wanted to ask you also, Hal, about a story making headlines. The president's military strikes against suspected drug smuggling boats in the Caribbean and the Pacific, to note. The concern coming from the left, some on the right as well, centers on the legality of these strikes. The administration has been tight-lipped about the evidence that they have to justify these moves. The president is essentially saying that as a commander-in-chief, he has responsibility to protect the nation from imminent threats. Do you anticipate we'll be getting more information along these lines, the evidence that backs up this movement, and how big of a threat to the homeland are we talking about here?
Well, they've kind of redefined the threat. First off, I think that there's going to be more information. That thing they did yesterday, where they did a no-notice brief of the Hill, and apparently all the Democrats weren't notified that this brief was going on. Did not set well. It didn't set well, certainly with the Democrats. Didn't set well with a number of Republicans either. There is a demand for this, and part of it deals with the War Powers Act. There's a 60-day clock that begins when you start doing things like these strikes under the War Powers Act. That's a post-Vietnam War thing. And we are coming up on it. These strikes started in mid-September. Well, it's coming up to mid-November. And the administration says, no, War Powers Act doesn't apply. Congress, though, is the one that makes that decision, and it goes to the courts. So there are reasons why that he needs to put a rationale, a legal justification for why we can do these strikes without trying to stop the boats or doing some other action first.
Yeah, well, really significant to highlight that timeline. It's a story, we'll continue to follow closely. Hal Kempfer, great insights as always. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly.